But one day, this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. So let freedom ring. When we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of our children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Yeah, sports show. Yeah, sports show. Yeah, sports show. We get it on. Yeah, sports show. Yeah, sports show. Yeah, sports show. We get it on. Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Yerrr Sports Show, episode 90, our 2-year anniversary. What is going on, family?
I really enjoyed that new intro.
Yeah, that was dope.
Shout out to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in his speech, baby.
Yes, the Kang.
AKA Pete Spirit Animal.
That is definitely Pete Spirit Animal.
That is Pete Spirit Animal.
As he's ordering a bacon, egg, and cheese.
I know he's getting a bacon, egg, and cheese.
He has to.
It's a little late for it, but I mean,
it's never too late for a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Thank you.
Okay, yes. Yeah. Oh no, he's on mute. That's the crazy part. He's on mute. But what's going on, family? As you guys can see, new look, new sound, 90th episode. Guys, 2 years. It's been a definitely a wild ride. And I love it. And cheers to 90 more. We're on the road to 100. Man.
100.
100. A lot of good things coming up. Tay's birthday is coming up at the end of this month.
Sure is.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna be turned.
He's not too turned.
30 great.
But she's already great. So, for anybody who's...
you look mad light. Like, what's going on with your skin?
Yeah, Sammy Sosa over here.
Yeah, you look mad light.
I slept.
Wait a minute, Tay. You only turning 30? Wow, I love it.
You see?
Kiss ass.
Flattery, baby. Flattery everywhere. Flattery everywhere.
Oh, you gotta relax.
Turning 30, wow.
It is unbecoming to you.
I feel like Matt falling asleep and now he's at the barge. Like, I don't understand. Matt fell asleep and now he's at the barge. It's weird. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. The rhythm of the night.
So just to confirm, I did get a bacon, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel.
Why everything?
Bagels gotta be hard. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon.
I got everything on it right now.
Nah, so
you got yourself a hero.
Man,
gotta be a
we'll get back him to a minute. So, for anybody who's brand new, it's your boy Big Baby, aka the soul of R&B. To my bottom left, we have BK Matt.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? I'm actually excited. Drake got a little pep in his speech. He got a little,
Word.
yeah, like you hear it, right? I'm getting light skin, Tay glowing. Everything with Pete
Being
over
rock
there.
bagels, like
Yeah.
all good.
I'm going on in the air. Like, what is it? New Year, everybody glowing. The glow up is real. 2 years in the game, we feeling great, feeling good, feeling great.
Yeah.
What's going on, y'all?
To my bottom right, we have the voice of a generation, Pete Rosado. We'll let him introduce himself when his audio gets a little bit better. And to the top right, we have always on time.
Except for today.
Except for today.
Except for today.
Queen has some things to do. My baby has her first volleyball game today. So
good luck. Good luck.
Definitely
shout
good
out
luck.
to
Good luck
her.
to this week. Yep.
Thumbs down to her league for announcing very last minute that parents can't come and spectate because mama was ready, okay?
Yo, you want to hear something funny?
was.
You want to hear something funny? That's why T took Shane out of playing basketball because they said that we can't come watch them play. So she was like, nope, then forget it. He'll play when COVID done. I'm like, yo, you gotta let him play.
That's rough.
He's at that age.
That's rough.
He's at that age. But you know you can't tell moms nothing. Can't tell them nothing.
You can't tell
So
them.
why would you?
I value my life.
Mm-hmm.
People forget that kids playing sports isn't just about the kid playing sports. It's about a parent getting a chance to show out and love on their kid. Like it's just as important as the kid playing the sport itself.
Exactly. I want my daughter to be wholly embarrassed and her mother screaming. I don't understand anything that's going on. I never really played volleyball. It wasn't my sport of choice. But that's her sport of choice. And whatever she's doing, I want to cheer for her. Like, come on.
That's crazy. Hold on. What high school you went to again?
I went to 3 different high schools, my darling.
And I'm the thug, right? We're going to get back into that. But I'm the thug. Nah, that's cool.
I went to Nazareth High School at first, and my mother was like, I want you to be around a more diversified group of people. She sent me to an all-girls school in Sunset Park / Bay Ridge. It closed down. And then I went to Bishop Ford. That's where I graduated. And I played basketball. I did cheerleading. I was on student council. I was vice president of, I was a class representative. And then I was president of the chorus club.
I felt bad for the people that went up against you. But I know when we played basketball, they made us do the volleyball team. They made us do the volleyball team.
I was very different in high school.
You said very active or very dangerous? That's what you said?
I said very different.
Why do I feel like Tay? When I think of cheerleading, when I think of Tay being on the cheerleading squad, why do I feel like Tay is that one girl from the Clovers and Bring It On that wanted to fight everybody?
You got that. I got the bottom of the pyramid.
Why? Because I'm heavy.
Y'all gonna stop. Y'all gonna stop picking on Tay.
I wasn't even the tallest girl on the basketball team. I was like the 4th tallest.
Well, yeah, it's high school.
Okay, so I wasn't even the tallest girl on my basketball team. And
Tay went to high school with Liz Cambridge. Liz Cambridge, 7'4" in high school.
Nah, I went to school with Patricia Lyons, who used to be a freaking beast. She was a beast. She was a legend, and it was an honor playing alongside her. I loved all that stuff. Like, I had fun in high school. High school was a good time. I mean, I was very like bougie, but very like not. So it was like two really big, like I was a walking paradox. So I was like third element. Really hood.
I was about to say, how you gonna forget that?
Or in really hood and really bougie, So
like most Brooklyn girls.
I'm nothing like everybody else. I
didn't say you're like everybody else. I said like most Brooklyn girls.
I'm different, okay? Because I'm from Brownsville.
It's even worse.
It's the best. What you mean?
What are you doing?
Let me tell you something. People from Brownsville have an intense pride about being from Brownsville. Like
Mike Tyson.
No, I just love my hood. I love my hood.
I love both of my hoods.
That's the same way I feel about Crown Heights.
I was in Canarsie for most of my high school life, and I never really liked Canarsie. Like, I love my hood. Like, I love being in the projects. I loved all that stuff. Like,
I got the best of both worlds, Crown Heights and Canarsie.
So shout outs to Crown Heights, shout outs to Broward Park over there, all of that, Prospect, Nostrand, all of that.
Nobody cares about that stuff. We only
Shout out
care
to St. Montage. Feel me?
Yeah.
If it's not Brownsville, we don't care.
And Albany Projects. My guys.
We're not shouting out Albany Projects. Nope. Nope.
My
Oh
guys.
my goodness. I went to pick up a zip car in the middle of Freeport Projects, and it was really scary.
Yo, I can only imagine. I don't even like walking past Freeport.
So random. I'm like looking for the zip car pickup place, and I'm like,
Could be worse.
they're not having me pick up a damn car in the middle of the projects, are they? And they had me picking up a car in the middle of the project.
Like in the middle of the project's parking lot.
It was right there. I'm like, y'all took residents' parking spots away for this?
Could be the pink houses.
I like the pink houses. I had good times growing up. I had an aunt who lived in the pink houses. We used to have so much fun.
I had a great grandmother who lived out there.
I got jumped out there. I got shot at out there.
What the hell you was doing? Because people in the pink houses, like, I never had no problems in the pink houses.
Whenever I went,
you know what projects? I used to go in Sun Girls Glenwood.
I had to shoot myself out. Ooh, I just said that out too loud. Next topic. Next topic.
Yeah, we don't.
Like Brookline. I didn't like Brookline at all. And I was talking to this cockeyed guy who lived. What's the one? Seaview. He was so cockeyed. Oh,
Brookline.
Brookline and Seaview. So hype. I guess because he was just so nice. And I was like, you know what? His mother was probably just so happy that he brought a girl home. Like she like.
Wow.
That's tough.
He probably never brought no girl. Like, cause he was just like, he was so corny. He was wearing Pele. It was like 2003. And like, I was like, what are you doing?
Pele.
I'm pretty sure like no Pele in 2003.
No, that was definitely a 90s thing. Like it was definitely.
I remember he had an Averex jacket. And then when when you like lift your little leather jacket up and you see the back, I said, Pele, what is this?
You got mad at him? Like, yo, what are you doing?
I bet you his name was Jerome.
Terrell.
Jerome. Even worse.
Close enough.
Terrell. But, he was like, I'm going to the store. Do you want anything? I'm like, ooh, you know what? I'm not gonna be here that long. So
I was just talking with my girl about wanting the Averex jacket because she made fun of me because I went into my storage room.
I do want
to found my old
Averex jacket though.
I found my old South Pole winter coat.
South Pole?
Yeah.
South Pole.
Yeah, listen, I was poor. I did not have the money to afford North Face. I did not have a North Face jacket my entire life. I was too poor to afford North Face.
You can afford it now. You want to buy
now I can. Now I can. I want to buy an 8-ball jacket though.
Pete, how old are you?
Yo, 40. You gotta be 40.
I'm gonna be 35 in April.
Spiritually, you're older than me because I wouldn't even do an 8-ball jacket. I want to. You know what I'm gonna do? I want an Averex and I want to get a nice Coogee hat.
Yo,
I got a Coogee sweater.
Shout out to my family.
Coogee sweater.
Nah, shout out to my family because they had me up on everything. Like I was wearing Coogee. I was wearing a Coogee to junior high school and high school. People like, oh, what's that? That's new? Nah, it ain't new.
And then in private school, like we wore uniforms, but you knew you were lit if your uniform was name brand. Like if you had Ralph Lauren or you had Tommy Hilfiger, like
polo uniform. What?
Yeah, but back then I liked Tommy because his initials and my initials were the same, THCH. So like, shout out to my parents for like buying all that stuff for me. You know what I'm saying? I used to, you
used to flex. You'd be like, yeah, TH, you know what that is, baby.
My 16th birthday, me and my cousins were just talking about this last night. My 16th birthday, my high school boyfriend bought me a pink Coogee knit hat with the knit dress, and it was pink, gray, and blue. And everybody thought that was so lit because, where your boyfriend get all that money from, he was 16 too.
Check Tavia out, look like Little House on Sutter Avenue. Check you out
on Sutter.
Get along is the law that we live by.
Hey,
I used to stay wearing velours. Sean John Rockaway.
Me and Valor.
Velour, God.
Oh, I was the velour queen. Everything was velour. You thought that I was like a Drita DeVanzo with everything.
I love those things.
Velour. Especially it had to be gray and black. I was up on all those trends.
I had one velour sweatsuit. My mom somehow, some way was able to figure out a way, but she got me one velour. It was like a navy blue velour top and bottom. And I was just like, yo, this is fire.
I can see your little Puerto Rican ass with navy blue with a navy blue velour suit with a flag shirt on.
Or the Puerto Rican headband.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
With a pair of white Uptowns with the Puerto Rican flag above.
Yo, I miss my white Uptowns. I had one pair of white Uptowns.
You had the Puerto Rican flag above the ankle, right?
I had the customized white Uptowns with the Puerto Rican flag embroidered on it. Yes, I did.
Looking like a Hunts Point Daddy Yankee. I guarantee it.
People's lit when Gasolino came out.
First of all, I lived 5 blocks. I lived 5 blocks from Hunts Point.
If there was ever a time for a Puerto Rican man to shine, it was from 2004 to 2007, baby.
Blast Oy Mi Canto.
We all got with the Puerto Rican bug. I even have a Puerto Rican baby.
Man, so, everybody wants to be Puerto Rican in New York between those times, bro. Like,
oh my goodness, you saw people at the Puerto Rican Day Parade. It's like, aren't you Jamaican?
Are you right? Are you Puerto Rican? Nah, I'm just here, but I'm just feeling the vibe.
I caught slack for this, right? Because I don't know if y'all saw my post earlier this week talking about power. When I was like, I'm just saying.
When they speak Spanish,
I cringed. I cringed. They play Spanish music, boy. Like, I'm like, boy, you gotta relax, no. That ain't it.
Hate it. Hi, baby.
Hey, babies.
Hi, honey.
The other stars of the show.
Hi, princesses.
They're
so beautiful. God bless them.
You got a little Venus and Serena on you there, bro.
Word.
You make it happen.
Take your little ass to tennis practice.
Right. Make it happen. Matt, make it happen for all of us.
Also, King Richard right here.
You missing out.
Yeah.
You didn't put their little asses in tennis.
Now, today.
Basketball. They like wrestling and basketball, so it might be that.
You know what? They're going to learn to like tennis.
They're going to learn today.
They're going to learn.
We saw the movie. We all watched it.
We need two Naomis out there, bro.
Was it King Charge or whatever?
King Richard?
King Charge. King Charge?
It was. I don't remember, but we watched the movie.
And then you didn't put a tennis racket in them little beautiful princess's hands yet?
I don't understand tennis.
I
really don't. I've tried so hard because I had a crush on Serena.
You know what? It's only one goal. Slap that bitch across the damn net until the other person misses. All that other stuff, like nobody, who cares? You ain't there for all that.
Right.
Listen, even if you don't know, there's ways to figure it out.
I'm not gonna hold you. As much as I want to get them in sports, they're more leaning into dancing and acting, believe it or not. With this TikTok face thing. I'm not. I'm trying.
Put their little asses in sports, please.
I'm about to tell Joe Kim I'm about to buy a ring when I buy this house. Put it in the backyard, and I'm training my girls to learn how to wrestle. So
you want them to take a bump, but you don't want them to hit a tennis racket?
Your damn skippy peanut butter and jelly.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Stop.
Don't live your dreams through your daughters, bro.
It's either basketball or wrestling in this household.
You want to learn a figure 4 leg lock? No. Let them learn a love, or what a love is, or whatever, a doubles. Let them take their little asses to Wimbledon.
Nah. I'm gonna have them learn.
Bro, you could be in Wimbledon with your do-rag on, bro. With the flap out.
I already taught Mia how to do the cross face. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Look at him. Look at him. Look. Look at him.
Hey! Hey, toma! Oye, loca, ven pa' acá.
Come here.
The worst.
Muévelo, Simba.
Let's go.
Man, Pitbull had the game on lock for a minute.
Yo, everybody knew every reggaeton singer. You had Daddy Yankee, you had Evie Queen, you
had Nori, you had Nori,
Omar, Zion Lennox.
Nori was a rapper.
Nori, aka the king of reggaeton. Don't do that.
No. Nori is no king. You see how you
king of reggaeton. Yes,
he's not.
He is.
No, it's
Oi,
no.
Canto is a legendary song.
Daddy Yankee's not even the king.
Oi, Mi Canto is a legendary reggaeton song.
Onoma and Tego are the kings of reggaeton.
Yo, Tego, people don't talk about Tego the way they should. And Tego was incredible. And you gotta put Evie Queen in that conversation. Because Evie Queen was out there putting out records long before it blew up. And then when it blew up, she was out there, but she got the shorter end of the stick because she had been out there longer.
And if you want to talk about a real grandfather, El General.
Jeez.
Everybody know they were bumping El Beeper.
Oh my goodness. That El Beeper.
You gotta relax. I don't know how she represent the Bronx more than we do. Ain't that more than Pete do? I know.
No, let me tell you something. You know you was lit back in the 90s if you had a group, if you was adopted into a Puerto Rican family. You know what I'm saying? Like,
word up.
We partied all day. We partied all night. Party.
For 3 days straight.
Time, huh?
For 3 days straight. I know.
3 days straight. A marathon party. We used to be feeding because, rest in peace, Mr. Robert. Oh, my God. He used to give us Old Duels beer. So, we sit there, we drinking, having fun, I miss those days, man.
Man. But, guys, let's bring it back to sports. And Pete.
Man, F sports.
Yeah.
Yerrr show.
This is just the Yerrr show?
Just the Yerrr show. Be like, this Yerrr.
Pick 5 was interesting this week.
I bet it was. I bet it was. Let's just get right into it. Let's get right into it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I feel my championship hope slipping away.
Well, so the regular season ended very tight for all of us, and the regular season championship ended in a tie. The regular season.
Okay, hold on.
There's no participation
right there, Peter.
Again.
There's no such thing.
It's not
we do all or nothing.
I'm not doing no more trivia. I'm not doing trivia.
After week 18.
I refuse.
After week 18, Dre and Matt are tied for first at 48 and 37.
Oh, how did that happen? Look at God.
So you and I went. Dre and myself went 2 and 3 this week. Dre picking Seattle as the one difference maker for him, while we all picked Cardinals, and I picked Pittsburgh, while the rest of y'all picked Baltimore, which led to that. Matt and Tay both went 1 and 4.
There was ever a time I wanted to punch Kyler Murray in the freaking face. It was that. Oh my God.
Listen, hold on. Can we just say though, the head coach for the Chargers deserves to get punched more than Kyler Murray.
Oh, that's a
He
fact.
didn't deserve to get punched in the face the whole year.
Complete collapse. Like in my gut, let me tell you something. In my gut of guts, I knew that Pittsburgh was gonna pull out that win. I just knew they were gonna pull it out. But I was like, you know what? I'm a woman. I stand firm on keeping the same energy. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just. I
wrecked the whole break room. I was so aggravated because that game was on. I wrecked the whole break room. I'm like, how? Make it make sense.
And then
how?
And then the Seahawks. The one time I bet against the Seahawks, one thing you know about me, I'm a huge fan of Russell Wilson.
Fuck him. I said what I said.
Wow.
Fuck him. I'm aggravated right now. This is your way out. You made me lose. God damn it. Go ahead, Tag. Aggravated with freaking Russell Wilson on my ass. Future boy. I'm gonna mute myself. I'm aggravated right now, all over again.
You have to turn the camera off too.
Right. You about to cry?
It's only a one game separation. Tay and I are 47 and 38, one game behind Dre and Matt.
Yeah, so it's still really close.
Yeah, it is.
So hold up, y'all tied?
Right.
Myself and Tay are tied, and you and Matt and you and Dre are tied.
We're only one.
Wait, I'm confused. Wait. Oh, me and Matt are tied.
Yes, for first.
Tied. Okay.
And then we're tied. Yep.
Yeah. So we're all what, one game apart.
Yes.
Right.
So one game determines. Well, we're going all the way through, like we usually do.
Oh yeah, we're going all the way through. All the way through. I don't want to hear nobody complaining when Tom Brady is in the Super Bowl again.
I'm wearing a Tom Brady jersey for.
He's not making a Super Bowl.
That's a
dog.
You know that?
Dog.
Imagine he lose to the Eagles this week.
I would laugh my ass off.
Now I don't see them losing to the Eagles.
Anything's possible.
I don't see them going into the Super Bowl this year. Last year I saw it. This year I don't see it.
I don't even see the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl.
I think the Packers.
I think the Chiefs can get upset. I had this conversation in the chat. I think the biggest upset watch in the first round is Chiefs Steelers. I honestly think that is an upset watch. I could see the Steelers with their
Steelers.
I might.
We're about to
Mind you, by the way, can we just talk about how much Vegas still loves the Vegas has the Chiefs favored by 12.5 points, the largest line of all the playoff games.
Because it's the Steelers.
It has Kansas City. Tampa Bay is only favored by 8.5 over the Eagles.
The Eagles are known for that, but the Eagles to me don't have the heart that they had a couple of seasons ago. That's the only reason why I'm just like a little like.
No, they have the hurt.
You could thank Carson Wentz for that shit.
Jalen Hurts is Jalen
Hurts. He's all right.
Right?
He's all right.
I think the biggest star they have on their team, honestly, is that little one. I don't even remember his name. Freaking A. He's like 5'6".
I'm not gonna hold you. If the Eagles beat freaking Tampa, we ain't gonna hear the end of it from Wilkins. It's gonna be a long week. If the Eagles beat Tampa Bay.
Well,
what's his damn name? Y'all don't know?
No. I don't. No, you have it wrong.
Hold on. Let me find him.
While Tay finds it, we actually have 6 games to pick this week. We are picking all of the wild card games this week.
Might as well. Why even like Boston Scott?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's like 5'5". Oh yeah, I'm right. He's like 5'6".
Yeah. So the first game is the Raiders versus the Bengals.
Let's go straight for the gusto. A Steelers Chiefs. Who you got, Pete?
Dre, are we doing the Steelers and the Chiefs or the?
It's not. Excuse me.
Steelers versus Chiefs.
He was an asshole. Whole asshole. Just the worst.
Because I'm going with the Chiefs.
I think anybody with common sense is gonna go with the Chiefs. I don't think the Steelers.
No, Pete said he was gonna pick the Steelers. I want to give him a chance.
Pete, if you pick the Steelers,
Matt, don't try to jet tag team this. Let him do this. Let him do this himself. He's a grown man. I'm gonna pick the Chiefs as well.
Hold on, I'm trying to put down the picks right now. Hold on.
Oh, you trying to put down the picks, huh?
It's not hard. We all pick the Chiefs.
It's not normal right now.
It's not hard at all.
I know. I'm gonna pick for Matt. Matt pick the Chiefs.
I know. Right, stupid.
It's tough. I mean, listen.
It's not that tough, Pete.
It is.
Follow your heart.
Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger. He is not the same Big Ben that
Matt,
we all.
No, Matt, do not try to take him off of his ledge. If he wants to pick that, let him pick that.
Listen, I'm not gonna do the stupid thing. I'm just saying that it's a game worth watching for the upset because I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, the Steelers got embarrassed by Kansas City a couple weeks ago, and if there's any team and any coach that's going to learn from a loss, it's Pittsburgh and Tomlin. But I'm not going to do the stupid thing and pick the Steelers when there's something on the line. The same way I would not put money on the Steelers to win this game if my money was on the line. So I also am picking Kansas City. But I do believe that if anybody could upset a high seed team in the wild card round, it could be Pittsburgh upsetting Kansas City.
So you're not picking Pittsburgh?
No.
He said all that to say. That's your roundabout way of saying
The only way
that.
Pittsburgh wins is if they have superb defense, meaning like they put freaking Patrick Mahomes on his ass at least 5 times. That's the only way. The only way they're winning this game. The defense is gonna have to be superb, and I don't think they are. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something too. I'm not feeling confident about the Cowboys in the 49ers either.
And that's the next game.
Yeah. I'm hoping. Okay, let me be honest with you here. I do not like the Dallas Cowboys. I have not made it a secret over the past few years. You know what I'm saying? It's been no secret that I've clowned the Cowboys, not as bad over the past couple of years because I was really sympathetic over the whole Zach situation and everything. But the Cowboys are not that good, and I'm tired of telling people that they're not that good. They're not that good of a team. They're not. But the 49ers are trash. Jimmy Garoppolo is trash. I'm sorry, he's trash.
Thank you. Finally, somebody says it. I'm like, yo, why is everybody living this delusion like he's good? He's not that good. Like, come on.
He played all right for a couple games for the Patriots and got his bag.
Bill Belichick, man.
But he is a Super Bowl. But he is a Super Bowl playing quarterback, though. So we have to. Let me tell you something. If that first half of that Super Bowl in 2020, I want to say it was 2020, the beginning of 2020, right? When the Chiefs beat them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
if you look at the first 2 quarters of that game, they were ragtagging the Chiefs. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna, but Jimmy Garoppolo to be considered on that level, like with those other Super Bowl playing quarterbacks, he ain't it for me.
Garoppolo is best. What we've said about players like, I'm forgetting their names, but a lot of these other quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls, and we're like, what? He is a game manager at best. Yeah, he has flashes of doing great things, but he's a game manager at best. Listen, he reminds me a lot of the kid of Matt Flynn, who got signed to a big money contract after having 3 big games in Green Bay and was a bust ever since. And Garoppolo had 1 good season in New England. Replacing Tom Brady, and that was it.
Garoppolo reminds me of Kirk Cousins.
I would take Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins lost his job, so
I'm just saying.
But I'm going with the Cowboys in this game.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with the Cowboys too. But if the Niners run on Dallas, which they are fully capable of doing, it's going to be a long day for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers beat the Cowboys.
I'm really going with the Cowboys because they're in the NFC East, and I like that. That's it.
I'm taking the Cowboys because I've bet high on the Cowboys all season. I'd like to more so than the Cowboys. I want to see Dak Prescott be successful.
Where?
But I feel like Dak needs, unfortunately, a good showing in the playoffs to get the money he deserves.
Hold up. Quick question. Micah playing tomorrow? Is Micah playing?
I believe he is.
Yes,
because I know he had to run in with was it COVID?
With Omarion, yes, and he's good.
He's good. So yeah, Cowboys. I want the Cowboys.
You were going to pick the 49ers anyway?
I was thinking. I'm telling you, they are like Cowboys have a really good defense. I give you that.
Mm-hmm.
But they ain't got nothing on the rushing offense. They can't do nothing with the rushing. I'm sorry, they can't. And I'm pretty sure Jimmy G is not going to be aerial at all. He's going to be limited to what he can do against the Cowboys. So they're going to have to run. If they find a way to plug that, then Cowboys all day. But if the 49ers get loose, it's going to be a long-ass game. It's going to be a long-ass day for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm being realistic.
Yeah,
What was it that Denver? What was the Denver coach? He said he had the recipe of beating Dallas and just run it down their throats. 49ers is fully capable of that.
Well, we shall
So
see.
who you going for? You going for the 49ers?
I'm going for the Cowboys. I'm going for the Cowboys.
I feel like the 49ers are going to lose.
I give Dallas
did a lot of talking just to pick the opposite of what y'all.
I'm not gonna hold you. Dallas got 2 wins and then they're gone. That's my thought.
Nah,
take the chance. Nah, take the chance, Playboy.
Take the chance.
I just took the chance. I'm taking the chance picking the Cowboys off rip. We're taking a chance by picking the Cowboys because we know who they are. So we're not gonna make it seem like picking the Cowboys ain't a risk. This is a risk.
Nah, take the bigger risk. Take the Niners.
Choosing Dak Prescott over Jimmy G. I'm sorry.
Pete, you chose the boys too?
Taking the Cowboys, yep.
But
I want Dak Prescott to play for he should have been got the money that he was asking for.
That's a whole fact.
Like, there's no such thing as, he did. If Zeke could get that money and Zeke is not playing well at all.
He's about to lose his job.
He about to lose his job.
about to lose his job.
So Dak should have been got that money. I don't even, Jerry Jones, whatever. He don't know what he's doing. So
yeah. The next game, Raiders, Bengals.
I'm going with the Bengals.
Same here. I'm taking the Bengals.
Same.
I'm going with the Raiders.
That's my sister, and she's a huge Cowboys fan. And she's the only reason why I don't rip into the Cowboys every week. You get what I'm saying?
You're very nice.
Yeah, no, that's my sister.
I want to know what everybody's energy going to be when we get Kiki on the show because I know she's going to be unbearable as a Cowboy fan.
The Cowboys better win this week.
They better.
The Cowboys better win this week.
They better because I have memes and gifts.
Shout out to Kiki.
And I'm trolling every single Cowboys fan I know.
Ashley, shouts to Ashley, who's been on the show before as well. She's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, we gotta get her back on too.
I love it.
I just don't understand what the allure is. Like, this is my thing. Like, I remember when I was a kid, it was a cool thing to be a Cowboys fan. Mm-hmm. I know you don't.
She said she don't act like the rest of them Cowboys fans.
I don't get the obnoxious. Like, I don't get the it's everything that's wrong with America.
Right.
It's like this obnoxious. It's like they're screaming at the high hills. I'm a Cowboys fan and all this stuff like that. And the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl, I don't even think Lauryn Hill and the Fugees were even really popular yet. Like,
their Super Bowl teams were loaded.
Back almost 30 years ago. I mean, come on. It's like it's obnoxious. It's obnoxious. Right now, you just a fan just for the sake of being a fan.
Anybody who was a fan of them back then, listen, yeah, I'd be a fan too if I had Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders, and Emmitt Smith on the same team.
And Troy Aikman.
I don't really like Troy Aikman personally, but yeah, like
who does? Honestly,
I do.
Safa Pete and Tavia, because he's an old soul.
I love Mr. Troy Aikman.
I know. I can see it in your face.
Well, so Raiders Bengals though.
I'm going with the Bengals. I'm going with my boy. I think
I wouldn't be surprised.
Be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a runaway game. I think that it's going to be a low scoring game. But I do see the Bengals have won games that I didn't think they would win, and they lost games that were really winnable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this is not one of those winnable games. I think the Raiders are gonna come. The Raiders are gonna come tough. But I think that the Bengals, for some reason, I feel like they're gonna pull it off.
Shouts out to them because they've had a rough season and off the field. So I mean, like for them to even be in the picture right now it says a lot to that team and that organization. So I mean, but this is just selling right now.
Do you believe Joe Burrow? Right?
Mm,
He's not talked about enough.
he isn't.
Facts.
He is a beast. Look how young he is in his career, and is able to play with such poise and such. He has veteran awareness. I mean, I saw what he could do at LSU. You get what I'm saying? But to be able to sometimes those skills don't translate well in the gridiron. You get what I'm saying? So the fact that he's able to translate those skills so well with a team that was like, he pulled that team out of obscurity and put them back into the island of relevance.
Yeah.
You know,
I was talking about the Bengals since Ocho Cinco.
the Bengals have a lot of negative history that they're trying to erase here. I believe they haven't won a first-round playoff game since 1990 against the Houston Oilers. So a long history for the Bengals to try and erase. Joe Burrow's going to have a lot on his shoulders, and you know who's going to be watching this game with a lot of intrigue is Marvin Lewis, who could not get out of the first round of the playoffs when he was the Bengals coach for 85 years.
But you know what? Joe Burrow led the league in quarterback completion all season. And he's the youngest player in NFL history to do so. But he also gets sacked a lot too.
Yeah, that's attributed to his offensive line and him not being as mobile as he probably should be.
Thank God he's young.
He's young.
Yeah. Sorry that he's young, but he still got he should be an MVP like talks, but you know, got that man.
They have an ageism thing going on with that.
They have a nameism.
You gotta be 80 years old and
and
have over 700 touchdowns thrown to be even considered.
They have a nameism issue in the NFL because all year it's been the same 4 names being talked about for MVP. It's Brady, it's Mahomes, it's Rodgers, and then on the outside,
I've only heard of Rodgers, really.
I heard Rodgers.
I've only heard of Rodgers, not even Mahomes.
Nah, I
didn't hear Mahomes in MVP contention really at all this year.
And Brady and Mahomes has been playing bad this year.
Right,
like,
but yet
not Brady.
Still, when you look at a lot of these MVP articles, the only person who I've seen getting talked about for MVP that is not one of the 3 big names in the NFL has been Micah Parsons.
What about Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry's
been hurt.
No, but he started the season hot. He was in talks of being in MVP talks.
I've never heard Derrick Henry in the MVP talks.
I have.
There's a nameism.
It was always Aaron Rodgers MVP trophy to lose.
I heard Aaron Rodgers from week 1.
I heard of him before the preseason, before he went COVID crazy.
Here we go.
That's the thing.
Here we go. That was such a big damn deal. We all talk about how Antonio Brown lost his mind on the field, right? But we're not talking about how this man lost his mind and lied during the press conference, had that demonic look in his face when he looked and he said he was immunized. Okay?
Mm-hmm. I hope he thanks his parents when he wins the second.
Oh my God, with this.
I hope he does.
You better call them.
I heard Jonathan Taylor.
Holidays just passed.
You heard who?
He gotta be Pete, can you check? He has to be a Capricorn. Can you check and see if he's a Capricorn for me, please?
I'm just saying, if Aaron Rodgers don't get MVP, it's a freaking fix.
No,
it is a fix.
Listen, he's going to get MVP.
He's not going to get reprimanded at all for lying and almost exposing his team to death.
Aaron Rodgers is a Sagittarius.
Ooh, that's disappointing.
You know the crazy part about Aaron Rodgers and this whole MVP thing?
It makes so much sense too. That's the crazy. It makes a lot of. It makes a lot of sense.
The crazy part about this, he went off on how reporters said they're not giving him the MVP votes,
which he should,
because he's not a good person, and Antonio Brown took his shirt off, and the world is losing their mind. But Aaron Rodgers just called another grown man a bum.
You gotta relax.
NFL TV.
Stop it, Dre. Why everybody's burying Antonio Brown is because one, this ain't the first time he's done some crazy stuff like this. Two, he quit on their team in the middle of the game.
Obviously, he has mental health issues that need to be addressed. Obviously, he said, look, his elevator does not go to 10; it goes to 7.
Well, I'm just saying.
Aaron Rodgers is just a mean-spirited, nasty man. I'm sorry, he is.
I listened to that interview he did.
He doesn't wash his hands either.
I listened to that interview he did with AB. He did with the guy who does he does a voiceover for sports, but he's like cursing up the storm. But that guy, he did it on this podcast, and if you listen to him, it's like stupid. It's like, I'm like, oh, there's something wrong for real. There's something wrong.
He buried Tom Brady, and I'm just saying,
he buried Tom Brady and then tried to bring him back to life, and they buried him again. It was like, you're being weird, sir. But I'm listening. He's like, oh, you can't test for CTE until they passed away. You can, but
honestly, are y'all gonna feel bad if we later learn it's CTE? Is everybody going to be apologetic? Is everybody going to be like, oh,
yeah, people don't keep the same energy.
Yeah, people don't keep the same energy at all.
Yeah, they villainize people. Why they have a nice story, then they pick at the bones. They pick at the bones. And he's gonna have a redemption in the reality world, the reality TV world. He'll have his little redemption there.
Oh yeah, bro, about to be the god.
And low key, that's why everybody is saying CTE because of that hit. That's what I'm just saying. That's why everybody is saying CTE. That hit was like,
since the perfect hit.
It felt like Antonio Brown left his body in that hit. Like I was just like, the way he landed, I was just like, God, Lord.
Okay, so right. Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals all around the table. I was playing around.
You too, Boning King?
Yes, I am taking the Bengals. No, Trey, I thought you said you're taking the Raiders.
I was playing around. I'm really not taking the Raiders.
No, put it down. He said the Raiders.
Can we also just talk about how black coaches are held to a higher standard than white coaches in the NFL? Can we just talk about the fact that
coaches?
My boy Tomlin is the only black coach left in the NFL. Can we talk about that too?
The only
that they don't even give black coaches a chance other than one season.
Mm-hmm.
And it took Urban. Urban might have had a plethora of chances for that team down there in Jacksonville, who wasn't doing a damn thing but losing and being embarrassing. And it took the strength of God for him to finally get fired.
All right.
And
even though it was his first, even though it was Urban Meyer's first season, he needed to not be there in the first place.
He shouldn't have been there at all.
Yeah, he should have stayed where he was at.
The fact that shout outs to Mike Tomlin for being able to still keep a job and winning. He's one of the only coaches who has gone this long with the winning.
Also, shout out to Mike Tomlin for being, it's so sad because a lot of these black coaches that you talk about say that are given, or get these opportunities. I won't say they're given because they're not given opportunities. They scratch and claw for the opportunities that they do get. They always get the worst opportunities, and then, like you said, don't get the adequate amount of time to try to turn it around. David Culley, who just got fired from the Houston Texans organization, was given a shell of an NFL team. That team should have been playing in NFL Europe, which doesn't even exist anymore.
That is atrocious.
The fact that he got them to win games. The fact that he got them to win games. This man has been an assistant. Let's normalize black coaches getting jobs in the NFL as head coaches, but let's also normalize, giving them jobs in franchises where they can actually do well in, okay? Because you put them in situations that are untenable, and then you blame them for the situation not being able to be fixed.
But you know what, baby? It's everywhere. That's what happened. So we gave him a chance. If you're not gonna give somebody a meaningful seat at the table, don't give them a seat at the table.
Yeah, that's like making a black man the CEO of your company the day after you declare bankruptcy, and then get mad that they didn't lead you back to prominence.
Boy,
Oh, that's real talk.
Martin Luther King ain't fight for that.
Gave him the Texans with no JJ
Watt.
Watt.
MLK weekend.
We will not do that on MLK weekend.
No judge. You know what?
Brian Flores. Brian Flores got the shit end of the stick.
Yes.
The shit end of the stick.
Yes.
Say it right.
After turning around the Miami Dolphins, he gets fired.
Right. Come around.
He got duct taped and
nah.
You gonna just leave with that duct tape, okay?
Yeah.
You got duct taped and kidnapped.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But look, I feel like they weren't gonna. That Joe Judge firing felt very forced. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel like they were going to. I don't think the Maras were gonna fire him. But I figured once David Gettleman retired, they was like, you know what, he got to go too. I like Joe Judge. He was also given a crappy ass team though. No nonsense. But Brian Flores, that sucks.
He almost made the play. They almost made the playoffs this year.
You know what? Almost doesn't count.
He shouldn't have got axed though. But where we at? Eagles, Bucks. I'm sure we're all taking the Bucks.
Who wants to be brave?
Oh no, I'm gonna be brave in one of these games.
I'm taking the Bucks. I'm rooting for my boy TB12, baby.
Okay.
He's a new variant.
The new variant. I don't know what happened, but he put on a backwards cap and a Bucks jersey, and I'm in love.
The TB12 variant.
Yeah.
I hated this man when he was in the Patriots. Hated him. Like nobody's business. And I'm like, yo,
I still do.
He's actually a decent. Don't you start, Pete. Don't you start.
No,
man.
You know what? Let Pete do it because when Tom Brady make the Super Bowl, like, all right.
But I joined the Rams like this guy is the worst and all this stuff. And I'm like, wait, but what makes him the worst? He loves his wife. He's good to his kids. He's a damn good teammate.
He talks to his parents.
And he probably gives them money too.
He definitely gives his parents money. He lets his parents travel with him.
He advocates for.
We can't go to the next game yet. Like Jesus Christ.
Excuse me. That was not finished. Look at he got stuck in that stupid ass face he was making. His camera got stuck. Looking dumb. Looking dumb.
Oh man. But all right. So it's Buccaneers around the table, y'all, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Won't be shocked if they lose though.
So then go with the freaking Eagles then.
All right. So
I just said I wouldn't be shocked. I didn't say I'm stupid.
So the last two games, the first one, Patriots and Bills. I'm picking the Bills. I'm picking the Bills.
I am also picking the Buffalo Bills. Listen, I like what Matt Jones has done this year.
What's going on?
That's not me. There's nothing over here.
Okay.
No, I'm taking the Bills. I've loved Josh Allen. I think the Bills have had a rough year.
Bills always shit the bed.
But I cannot. Unlike Tay, who could pick the Cowboys, even though she is a Giants fan, I cannot, in good conscience, pick the Patriots as a Jets fan.
That don't make you noble. That make you. That ain't a noble thing.
Yeah, do your thing, player. You gotta get over that, bro. You just gotta get over it.
He's not on the Patriots no more.
Yeah, you gotta get over it, bro.
I'll get back to y'all about that tomorrow. I don't know yet.
Isn't that game today?
Which one?
That game is today.
No, that game is today, player. You gotta pick today.
Damn it.
That's the late night game.
Give me to the end of the show.
You ain't gonna be here to the end of the show.
I'm going with the Bills.
I'm with the Bills as well.
But I don't feel good about the Bills though, because they always, like I said, this year we and I've been saying it for these past couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep the same energy with the Bills, because last year and the year before, everybody's like, oh, they're gonna dethrone the Chiefs and all stuff like that. And Josh Allen is slipping and sliding and skating on mediocrity recently. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna forget that. Bill Belichick knows what it takes. Once his team gets to these playoffs, he knows what to do. So let's not.
Okay, let me ask you a question, if you don't mind. What's the narrative? If the Patriots beat the Bills tonight, what's the narrative on Monday morning? Is it the Bills choked? Is it Mac Jones did a great thing, or is it Bill Belichick?
It's all of it, all of the above, because the Bills would have definitely choked. This is their game. This is their game to win. This is the Patriots. If the Patriots lose, there's no dishonor. If the Patriots lose, if they lose, it's like, damn, you know what? They were the 6th seed. Mac Jones is still getting his foot into the league, so they look good either way. The narrative doesn't sway either way for the Patriots. The narrative will have to be concentrated on the Bills. Last year, they shit the bed. The year before, they shit the bed. This year, if they shit the bed again, then you know what they are? They're trash.
She right.
Period.
She right. So
period. The last 3 years, they've left. They've choked at times with winnable games. These were winnable games. You get what I'm saying? And everybody was talking about Josh Allen like he was the second coming of Christ. You get what I'm saying? If Mac Jones and the Patriots beat the Bills, or even if they lose to the Bills, the biggest loser here is the Bills.
Yep. But I'm still taking them though. So
I'm taking the Bills.
I'm still taking them.
I'm picking the Bills only because I'm worried about my
Wow.
But
wow.
Again, look, Mac Jones is still a rookie. I'm not.
Oh no. See, now you're not keeping the same energy. You're not keeping the same energy. I'm going with my not keeping the same energy.
I'm going with my mind, right? Versus
you go with your mind instead of your
You know what? No, since you're picking the Bills, I'm going to pick the Patriots because
you're a liar.
I'm picking the Patriots. Change my pick to the Patriots, Pete.
Pete, if he switches later on,
I'm not switching.
Don't accept it.
When do I only switch? Since we've been doing this, I've only switched my pick one time, and that was because we all picked the same.
Look how that benefited, right? Look how that benefited.
I'm taking the Patriots.
Whatever.
My pick is locked in. Is yours?
Yeah.
Your pick is locked in.
Yo, Dre, you that man, Dre. I fucked with you, Dre.
I'm taking the Patriots, and it's locked in.
And if the Patriots win, you get the smoke section next week.
I don't want the smoke section. No, I don't want the smoke section. We just won't do it.
Whatever you want.
We just won't do it.
I'd be mad if the Patriots win. I'm gonna be happy for them, but I'm gonna be mad.
I would be mad.
Here's how this week is gonna go. If the Cowboys lose, meme city. If these Bills lose, Matt, I'm on your ass the whole week, bro. Like,
I'll deactivate this goddamn Facebook. Don't play with me.
That's cool. You got to block my number. You got to block my number.
I got an iPhone. I can make it happen.
That's fine. That's fine. Pete, who you got?
This is who you got?
The Bills, Patriots. I told you I'm taking the Bills.
Okay.
You picking the Patriots, right?
No, he said he's picking
the
Bills.
This is the game, right?
Yeah.
Because the Cardinals remind me of the Steelers last season.
Mm-hmm.
They had this record. Everybody was like, "Oh, they're a shoo-in. There's this, there's that," and then I don't know what happened. It was as if the wolf took off the sheep's clothing. And they became mediocre all of a sudden. Now the critics they predict for the Cardinals it's like split almost.
Yeah.
Right? But I per se, if LA loses this game, they should be embarrassed. This is their game to lose.
Absolutely.
This is the game. So with that being said, I'm going with the Rams.
The Rams are, I believe, favored in Vegas. Let me see. Yeah, Rams are favored by 4 in Vegas.
I'm taking the Rams and I'm taking the spread on that too. Like,
I'm also taking the Rams. I said very early in the year that I think Matthew Stafford, this is going to be a big deal for Matthew Stafford to make the playoffs with a team that can actually be dangerous. And I think Matthew Stafford, I think of everything, Matthew Stafford's going to have a chip on his shoulder in this playoff run, and he's going to want to prove that he is a playoff worthy and a playoff caliber quarterback.
My only thing about Matthew Stafford, he can be a pick machine at times too, and that's my only. And he's a pick machine like in the red zone. It's not like he's throwing bombs and they get picked off. I could deal with that, but if you're like 20, you're 15 to 10 yards from the end zone, you're throwing picks. That's no good. But I'm still gonna stay with the Rams.
Hey, you took the Rams as well, Matt? You with your man Kyler Murray?
Nah, I'm going with the Rams. And contrary to what you're saying with Matthew Stafford, I'm not much of a believer of Matthew Stafford right now.
Neither am I.
Neither
am I.
I honestly feel like this is the game for the defense to win. And so yeah, I'm going with the Rams.
But the defense has been shaky too.
They've been shaky, but I feel like Von Miller and them they're gonna get in that ass in the playoffs. I feel like they're gonna get this. They're gonna get it together because we remember last year, and I don't really want to bring up the Bucs like that, but we were saying the same thing about the Bucs defense last year, and then they stepped it up in the playoffs, and it won them a lot of games.
I think the difference between the Bucs defense and the Rams defense is that the Rams defense has been that for the past 3 years. The Bucs defense just kind of came into prominence towards the end of last season and somewhat in the beginning of this season when Tom wasn't playing the best. Now everything is pretty much coming together for them, but the Rams they're a shaky team, and then you hear about the fighting with each other in the locker room and everything like that. Like a lot of that goes into it, but
that unites teams. That don't break them up all the time.
It doesn't break them up all the time. But my thing is, Kyler Murray is the X factor in this game. Which Kyler Murray are you going to get? Are you going to get the Kyler Murray that's 1-5 against the Rams, or are you going to get the Kyler Murray that you saw in college?
You got to look at his opposition was Aaron Donald and Von Miller and Ramsey. You got to look at his opposition. So again, I feel like this is the defense. This is the defense game to win. I mean, I like I said, I hear what Pete's saying about Matthew Stafford, but I don't see all the hype that is behind him.
Me either.
Especially since he has Cooper Kupp. So I mean, I like I said,
I don't see the hype. I didn't see the hype behind Matthew Stafford, especially after Megatron retired.
Fact. That's a whole fact.
After Megatron retired, it was like, oh, okay, he's just the Detroit Lion quarterback. And that was it. He's not a bad quarterback, but he still plays like he's in Detroit sometimes. So, but Pete, who do you got?
Robert Woods ain't even playing, so you got to rely on Odell and Cooper Kupp.
Which is not two people.
It's not bad.
Too bad to rely on.
Odell is kind of reinvigorating over there, and in LA, it's a benefit for him.
And keep him.
I'm kind of shaky about my pick with the two games that I'm most shaky about is the damn Patriots Bills and this one.
Me too.
I'm shaky about the Patriots Bills, and I'm shaky about this one. For some reason, I feel like Matthew Stafford is disappointing when it comes to crunch time too. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm a big person to keep the same energy. But I just feel like the Arizona Cardinals have not been that impressive to me over the past second half of the season for me to bet against the Rams. You get what I'm saying? Yerrr.
What's going on, Gary?
Yerrr.
What's going on, G?
Ooh, I'm cold, yo. It's cold.
Yes, it's cold as hell. It's cold as hell. Puerto Rico.
The crazy thing is, Matthew Stafford is an upgrade from Baker Mayfield, bum ass.
Baker Mayfield.
I'm an upgrade from Baker Mayfield.
The only time I think about Baker Mayfield is when he's in them dumbass commercials with his wife about the stadium and the lights go off and all stuff like that. Like, that's the only time I think about him.
But Pete, your pick.
Well, I picked early. I said the Rams. I'm riding the Matthew Stafford train.
Okay.
Choo.
So the only game that we're split is the Bills. It's a Bills game.
Yep.
So that's gonna determine a lot.
I'm nervous about it too, because again, I was one of the first to say I think the Patriots could make a run.
You did.
I was back and forth with Matt. I'm like, I don't know, and then Mac Jones beat everybody else that I said.
That's what I'm saying.
Couldn't beat.
Mac Jones started to show his ass a little towards the end and started playing like a rookie. So that's low key what's scaring me, because the last few outings he wasn't that impressive. He was making stupid mistakes, and Josh Allen is he's not a bad quarterback. He has playoff experience, and he was like a touchdown away from making the Super Bowl last year. So like I said, it's hard, and Buffalo hasn't really been impressive this year. So
no, they haven't. But
so it's just more or less of my reluctance is Mac Jones is still a rookie, and is he ready for that? That could this be the game that makes him into the beast that I know that he can be?
I think he can be the beast, which is why my pick is locked in. He's gonna be the beast.
This is my thing, right? It's the Bill Belichick factor for me that makes it very you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see this being a clear-cut runaway game for the Bills. Because Bill Belichick is known for being a master tactician. But I'm not kind of convinced that Mac Jones has the poise that Tom Brady once had too.
Exactly.
So I mean, you know what? My foot is in the mud already. I already went with the Bills. They're going to either prove me right or prove me wrong. Period, Pooh.
Well, I think there's something we forgot here.
Bing bong.
It's going to be 6 degrees. I think in Buffalo.
It's cold as hell in New England. They're used to that.
Yeah.
It's going to be 6 degrees. And Josh Allen, I think, has not done very, very well in freezing temperatures. But he has won 3 of the last 4 games against the Patriots. The Patriots did win, I believe, 40. I think they have a 40 out of 45 wins against the 35 out of 40 meetings from 2000 to 2019. The Patriots beat the Bills, and then he's won the 3 of the last 4 against the Patriots. So it's gonna be an interesting game, that's for sure.
Most definitely. All right, so pick 5 is definitely gonna be interesting because, man, since everybody's a game apart, we're gonna see. So let's get into today's topics. And we're going to start off with the Brooklyn boys, Mr. Kyrie Irving. And if the Nets should probably pay him to keep playing this season. So, as I just stated, Kyrie Irving is back, and he's been playing a couple games. He hasn't played the best, but, someone who hasn't played in half the year, he's doing what he can. So, if you are the Brooklyn Nets, Matt, I'll start with you. Are you paying the fine to keep Kyrie on the floor for the rest of the season?
Me as a fan, yeah. But me as on the moral stance, probably not, because you're setting a bad precedent for the vaccine. So I mean, and then you're kind of proving Kyrie right. You're making him look better than he should be looking as far as this. But as a fan, I'd save up bread to pay that. These fines ain't nothing crazy. It doesn't even phase them. I think the first fine is like a stack, and the second is like another like 3,000, and then after that it's just $5K every time he plays. They can pay that. I take it out his salary though.
Yeah. right out that salary, Pete.
Yeah, so.
No, I don't. I mean, I kind of understand where Matt's coming from. In the sense of, they have a lot of injuries right now. Aldridge has been out for a little. I think he's missed 5 games in a row. Durant obviously sits every now and again. Harden has to sit every now and again. And that team is just devoid of talent outside of those 3 positions. They have a bunch of role players, and then they have Durant, Harden, and Kyrie. But to me, it sets a bad precedent if you sit there as your Joe Tsai and you say, we're not going to, let Kyrie play. We're going to give him this time to not do this. And then we're going to sit here and be like, all right, you know what? We'll pay this fine. For that, you should have done it from the beginning of the year and not made a big stink about it. So I say no on that moral piece of, you've already made this decision. You might as well just dig your heel in and deal with it. And go from there. You're either going to, personally, I've never liked Kyrie as a member of this team to begin with, personally, as a fan. So I really don't care if he plays or not. I would rather see how well this team gels the way that it is without Kyrie rather than inserting Kyrie in and out. But I understood why they did it when the COVID stuff started hitting and players started dropping like flies, hitting the IR. But I wouldn't go this far.
For me, I agree with what you guys say. I agree 100% with what you guys say. But if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, I am paying Kyrie. I am paying that fine. And the reason being is that you guys have seen when it's just one of the stars, they're garbage. They're not a good team. When it's 2 of them, they're a little bit better. When it's 3 of them, which you pretty much traded Earth, Wind, and Fire for,
all the Sailor Moon.
Right. And all the Sailor Moon, we don't know what they are when it's all 3 of them. And you just extended one of them. You don't know if you're going to pay Kyrie, and Harden is going into free agency because he hasn't experienced free agency yet. You need to pay him. You need to pay the Kyrie fine so you can see how all 3 of them play together for the rest of the season, and then figure it out what you're going to do after the season. Because that money you get, and that's a very single percentage, if you get to the championship and you win the championship, that money you paid for Kyrie is going to be worth it. But if you don't, then it goes down the drain. But you still saw what it was going to be. Tay, what do you think? Should they pay the fine or not?
I think they have no choice but to pay the fine. I mean, I think it's egregious that we're here now, and I think that I really feel like Kyrie is kind of getting to skirt past not getting vaccinated. I think it's trash, honestly. You get what I'm saying? But if I'm the Nets, I'm gonna give my team the best chance possible. They were playing mediocre before him. You get what I'm saying? And I think that this gives them the best chance. So I guess, yeah, if as a team, I will make that chance. But I feel like by the time the playoffs come around, I feel like other teams are not going to beef about it. But once they start doing good, you're going to see it's going to be a problem. It's not going to be that clear cut.
I think it's like what you guys said, like what the fella said earlier about the COVID, the president you sent him for the COVID vaccine and everything like that, and I guess people will make it seem like, well, this player is bigger than what's going on in the world right now. I don't think that's the case, but that's what it's going to look like. And then, as the Brooklyn Nets, you don't want to set that tone with the league, but at the same time, if your bottom line is that important, I say put the money on the line.
I'm just saying in that reference, you got players that get to play that don't take the vaccine. They get to come to Brooklyn and play, but because you're a home team and you're not vaccinated, you can't play. That's what I said. The whole rule of that.
The rule didn't make sense to begin with. And we all were like, okay, I guess the rule didn't make sense to begin with. So if you're gonna fine Kyrie every time he plays a home game, and how many games you got left? It's like 40 games left, so you probably have a little less than 20 games to pay. Pay the fine.
Anything I start paying it in the playoffs. I mean, there's still a top seed regardless. He doesn't have to play home games for the rest of the season. That's just a matter of seeding right now. So I mean, if anything, I'd save up the bread for him to play in the playoffs. The most because you really won't need him then.
It just sets a bad precedent, though. It sets a precedent that the players can do what they want, and the players can strong arm their way to make their own decisions, which is going to set a very bad precedent. It's a snowball now, but it's going to become a major avalanche later because this little thing is going to be something that players are going to point to later on when there's another rule or another something that they don't agree with and they want to get by and they don't want to have to abide by it. And what are the owners going to do now? You got to dig your heel in now and stand by your decision now, because if you don't do it now, you're never going to be able to stand by a decision like this, or you're not going to be taken seriously when you put your foot down later on.
Pete, honestly, as a fan, I can give a damn. As long as it brings Savannah into Brooklyn, I can give a damn. We'll deal with that later. As of now, this is the rules. The rules are there for a reason. If he can play away games, but y'all mad about a mandate that's only in New York, Chicago,
but that's a government thing. That has nothing to do with the NBA. That's a city and state government issue.
All right, but that's a city issue. That's not an NBA league situation. So therefore, it doesn't affect the league as much. That is a state mandate.
Right, but you have to, unfortunately, as the league, you have to comply with state mandates. They are still a business. They are still a corporation. They have to listen to these state mandates. You can't just sit here and say what we want because it's not our rule. You can't do that. It's like being in a building. Renting out space in a building, and the building has a specific rule, but you decide, since your company rents the space, you're going to make your own rules for the space that go against the building rules. No. You still have to abide by the building rules and do whatever you want around that. And unfortunately,
so that's something New York is going to have to figure out. They put these fines.
But it's not. It goes further than New York then, because the pandemic is a worldwide issue.
Well,
it's bigger. It's bigger than New York. So my thing is,
this is what happens when things like this get politicized.
Right. But at the end of the day, I see it like this: if you're gonna let him play, let him play. But then next year, like Pete said, you're gonna have to deal with the backlash, because when you do something like this and then you want to put a rule into place now next year to where nobody can play, that's it.
And remember, this doesn't just affect the NBA. This is going to affect however the NBA moves and how its franchises move is going to affect what players in Major League Baseball, players in the National Football League, what those players see. And they're going to start to want to move in certain ways and put pressure on their players' associations and their unions and their owners. This could be a very large domino that could affect a lot of people. Again, I don't agree with the rule. There should be one blanket rule that affects every state, every franchise, every team. There should be, but there isn't. And that's beyond the scope of the NBA. Because I'm sure if it were up to the NBA, they would make one rule that affects everyone equally. But unfortunately, this was well beyond and outside of their control.
All right, then. So that's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily a domino that's going to punch the NBA in the face. It's more or less the issue with Kyrie right now is a New York State thing. That's the only that. But right now, it's a New York State thing. And
but if Kyrie catches COVID, and then he gives somebody else COVID. So now what happens? It's an NBA thing because we just saw during the holiday season we had like almost 40 players miss games, and they had to redo
then the league will probably go on to the point where you have to be vaccinated in order to play.
So it is a league problem.
So right now, but I'm saying as of right now, that is a New York State law.
Right, but then if the league does that, but then Matt, if the league turns around and says, okay, you have to be vaccinated to play, now that runs against state mandates. Because let's say somebody who plays in Florida, where Mr. Ron DeSantis thinks that he's the next coming of whatever, okay, and the Florida team, Miami, all of a sudden now has to listen to NBA rules, right? So the NBA says all players must be vaccinated. But now Florida as a state says you don't have to be vaccinated to do your job, right? So the state does not mandate for players to have to be vaccinated. So now all of a sudden you got a player who don't want to be vaccinated. What are they going to do? They're going to lean with their state laws and be like, well, state law mandates I don't have to be vaccinated, but now the NBA is impinging on my freedoms to get vaccinated. So it's unfortunately the NBA is in a very bad situation because they do not have the ultimate control. And at the end of the day, whatever rules they make are going to get superseded by local, state, and federal government regulations.
But to go to Dre's question, hold on. But to go back to your question, because you said what would happen if Kyrie caught COVID and then he infected everybody. Even if you're vaccinated, you still can catch COVID. But a lot of those players that caught COVID and were out, they had the vaccine.
Totally understand that part. But then what I'm saying is they're gonna make it like, oh well, you see what happens when a player who wasn't vaccinated gets to play.
Right.
And now it becomes an NBA issue again. I get what you're saying. You're not wrong.
That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, it's not going to make sense.
That's what I'm saying. That would be a weird argument to use if you can catch COVID if you have the vaccine.
I totally understand that. Queen, do you have anything more to add to this? Queen? Your mic is muted.
I know.
Oh, I was saying, did you have anything more you want to add before we move on?
Because I can care less.
Say no more. Last topic. So I can't pronounce his name, but I know Pete can. Pete.
Novak Djokovic.
Yes. He's basically Aaron Rodgers, the tennis world.
Australian Open, yeah.
The Australian Open. And he tested positive for COVID. And then, instead of quarantining, he went to go play in a tournament. And then he has the nerve to get rowdy with the media about his COVID status. So my problem is, and it goes back to keeping the same energy. Naomi Osaka and Serena Williams have been destroyed by the media for things that they believe in and reasons why they will play, reasons why they won't play. Why isn't he getting like turned up on for it? Because yeah.
And he's so dangerous and he's so reckless, man. That's reckless. Mm-hmm. Like at the end of the day, like I understand people don't want to get vaccinated or whatever. People have their own stance on that. But like once you have COVID, like you have a responsibility to, other people's lives.
So let's go through a quick timeline of this just to give people an idea. Okay. Back in June of 2020, all the way back in June of 2020, Novak Djokovic contracted COVID-19, both him and his wife. November of 2021, the tournament director for the Australian Open says that everyone who plays in the Australian Open in 2022 must be vaccinated. Now, it came out medical exemptions. Okay. Now, Djokovic tested positive again for COVID December 16th, 2021. December 17th, he attended an event in Serbia that honored youth tennis players. On December 18th, he does an interview and a photo shoot. And then according to court documents, on December 22nd, he tested negative for COVID-19 in Serbia 6 days after testing positive. All right. He then pulls out of a tournament for no reason. And then on January 4th, he says he's gotten a medical exemption from getting vaccinated against COVID, but he's still going to compete in the Australian Open. And then there was mistakes with his visa. So he gets to Australia on January 5th. They detain him because of issues with his visa. Then he's denied entry into Australia, and his visa was canceled. The health minister of Australia says that they reviewed his medical exemption, and the Australian prime minister said, quote, "Rules are rules, especially when it comes to our borders." Then this got really crazy. January 10th, his visa gets reinstated for some reason. On January 11th, they list him as the number 1 seed for the Australian Open. January 12th, he says there was an administrative mistake about his COVID-19 status. And then on January 14th, he had his visa revoked again, I think only a couple of weeks before his first round matchup. And it's just and he's risking deportation out of Australia as well. So it's just ridiculous what has been going on with the Novak Djokovic situation.
So Matt is being a father in a sec over there. But Matthew.
Yo.
Okay. Yeah, because you ain't answer. But your thoughts on just the media just not keeping the same energy, because if this was the two names I spoke of, Serena or Naomi Osaka, they would have lost their minds already.
Well, they would have crucified them. It would have been Nightmare on Elm Street. It's just, I'm not shocked. I don't think any of us is.
She is so adorable, trying to creep along the back.
Oh man. But yeah.
I mean, listen. I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. You know, they would have crucified Serena and Naomi, but I also think Serena and Naomi wouldn't have tried to go through all the. Listen, they wouldn't have tried to pull an Aaron Rodgers on this. This is what happens.
Can we stop slandering Aaron Rodgers? He's about to be our MVP.
No, we cannot.
No, we can't.
I'm
I'm not going to stop slandering Aaron Rodgers until he's talked to his parents. That's it. At this point, I don't care if he get vaccinated. Talk to your parents.
Listen, at the end of the day, this is what happens when you're trying to game the system. Everybody's trying to game the system and then want to get mad when the system try to kick back. Well, okay, you got to stop people. People got to stop getting mad when the system says, "Go F yourself," because you can't game the system.
Well, like I said, at the end of the day, tennis has been known to not keep the same energy, especially when it comes to women of color and people of color in general. So this is not surprising, but I thought it was definitely something that should be brought up. But shouts to the Job Tids Network, all the shows on there. Everybody's back this week. Shout out to us, 90 episodes, road to 100, 2-year anniversary, and we got a lot more coming. So for BK Matt.
Let's say Yerrr. Say Yerrr. You're not gonna say it?
She's not gonna say it.
Just say bye. You gonna say bye?
For the voice of a generation, Pete Rosado. For the Queen Tay, it is your boy, Big Baby, signing off. Peace.